silence, welcome to our vlog!
For today's vlog, we will bring you back to the past. We will tour you to the historical sites here in Talisay City, Cebu. Japanese Silva, Armalynne,
And MacArthur Landing.
So what are you waiting for?
Let's go!
Did you know that 64 years ago, the U.S. military spearheaded by the 132nd Infantry Division, also known as the American Division, the Talisay landing was codenamed Victor II and was part from the U.S. invasion fleet that fought in the invasion of Leyte. The 59 naval ships for the Cebu invasion gathered in Hinunangan Bay, Leyte. They had approximately some 15,000 officers and men were brought to Cebu on board landing ship Transport Earth LST. At the time of U.S. invasion, their intelligence reported that there were some 12,000 Japanese soldiers in Cebu. Towards the end of the Cebu campaign, the American Division belatedly realized that there were more than 20,000 Japanese soldiers stationed here.
The Talisay landing officially commenced at exactly 7:30 hours on March 26, 1945, when the naval guns began pounding the beaches of Tanki Talisay as a way of softening up any Japanese guns, steel boxes, or machine gunners. When the smoke cleared, the numerous landing vehicles tracked, or known as LVD, carrying U.S. ships started moving towards the shore.
The first major firefight that American Division encountered was at the Gochan Hill, which is the Ecotech Center today and still owned by the Gochan family. The encounter lasted for nearly 3 days, resulting in the deaths of 200 plus Japanese soldiers, where some 85 pillboxes were neutralized. 3 U.S. Sherman tanks were damaged and 1 was put out of the commission. Gochan Hill was shielded by 105 howitzers from the Hippodrome horse racetrack, which is now Barangay Hippodromo.
It would be months before Cebu was declared as totally free from Japanese occupiers. On August 28, 1945, or 5 days after VJ Day or Victory Japan Day, which the Japanese formally surrendered to the United States. Lieutenant General Shadashi Kataoka formally surrendered to General William H. Arnold in Elhig. And finally, hostilities in Cebu Island ceased. It turns out that some 9,000 Japanese soldiers surrendered in Cebu, which means more than 20,000 Japanese soldiers perished here during the last months of the war.
Because the Americans did not put a prisoner of war camps, they immediately repatriated the Japanese soldiers to waiting Liberty ships and returned them to Japan. That move also prevented any reprisals by angry Filipinos that the history of 64 years ago. Just please remember it.
We are now here in Tres Alinias Monument. Originally, there was Tres Alinias, Felix, Hilario, and Potenciano, who are generals. But an addition was their youngest official, who was a colonel. According to the head of TCC, Dr. Rachel Bacabos, these heroes, who may not be known to many, were native of the city who also risked their lives to free the nation from oppression. The 3 brothers are known for their powers in military command against both Spanish and American colonizers. Their leadership led the Cebuanos to revolution. Going back to the 4 brothers, the name of the Tres Alinias still stuck though, so now we'll still be calling these Tres Alinias. But if we look Soficio, or if we include Soficio, their youngest, the appropriate name would be Cuatro Alinias. It is detailed in History of Talisay City by Ricardo Patalinghog and Rogelio R. Murcia when the brothers engaged in battle in Barangay Isidoro. But were beaten back by overwhelming fire from the Guardia Civil, which is like a police of force for towns in the Spanish colonial period. The fate of the four brothers is disputed, but there are many theories. Though it is disputed today if the Battle of 3 de Abril was inspired by the happening of April 2 in Talisay, or if the attack in Talisay was just a gunshot. In the war, there is no doubt that even if they are not well known today, aside from in the minds of college students like me studying in history class, it contributed in their own way to freedom of Cebu and Philippines from Spanish Empire.
This is the Japanese pillbox. Talisay City, a large commercial area, is the site of the American landing liberating Cebu.
According to our research, the Japanese pillbox found in Zone 4, Porok Palia, Sitio Kalubihan, Talisay City, Cebu. This pillbox of Talisay City is one of the few monuments of World War II in Cebu. It is the largest pillbox in the country.
Pillbox or bunker is built in Porok Kalubihan, which is recognized for its lubi, which are probably ancestors of the coconut trees that once covered the beaches from Barangay Biasong to Barangay Tangke.
The pillbox is composed of large, solid concrete and coral stones, and it is a round in shape and somewhat implanted into the earth.
Series of canals, tunnels, and other defenses were behind the concrete pillbox at one point to defend the beach from the American attack. But the Japanese abandoned the positions, leaving this and other pillboxes all around the beaches unoccupied. It's also possible that a pillbox or bunker housed a tunnel through which soldiers could travel to Minglanilla.
According to the local elders, forced labor was utilized to construct the concrete pillbox, which took a year to complete between 1943 to 1944.
According to some sources, the pillbox or bunker was used in the fighting. However, field reports from the 40th Division suggested that minimal resistance was faced, and that mines and other battlefield defenses destroyed 10 LTTS.
This bunker is an important component of Talisay history because it is one of the few remaining World War II monuments.
Talisay City has its own fair share of amazing historical events which helps in contributing and shaping the society we've known today. Those historical places we've visited are the evidences that even if how many decades have passed, the history of Talisay remains in the hearts of every Talisaynan, and it has brought a legacy that will forever be treasured and preserved.